Everybody's going that cube. Everybody's going that cube. Trump is coming for black folks. I touched on this a little bit on my last show, but today I want to dive all the way into it. Won't be here long. Won't be here all day. And today may or may not be a two-show day. I might do a late night from the garage tonight. But I've been out of town the last couple of nights, getting away in nature. I need nature. Like, shit. I'm a city boy, but I need nature at least once every couple months. I got to be out in some pine woods in the forest or somewhere in wine country or somewhere along the ocean. I'm a nature-ass nigga. Or the desert. I got to be out in God's country where you can see like all the goddamn stars and shit. I was just mad though because, man, the stars was beautiful the other night. Then the goddamn clouds came. I was like, you motherfuckers. Shit. Nigga, I'm like, God damn it. I ain't seen Arcturus in a minute. Come on now. Anyway, welcome chat room. Welcome chat room. Let's talk about this right here. Thank y'all for joining. We just already about to have this show because I've been noticing the last week, 2 weeks, Ice Cube's been under a lot of, he's been under attack. Some of it based off some recent things he said he had to say about, and most of it centered around what the recent things he's had to say about Trump's ICE raids. Been hearing a lot of black people mad that he said something when asked, that seemed like it could support Mexicans. You had liberal whites still mad at Ice Cube because he broke ranks and spoke to a Republican when these useless ass white boys and gals think that black people are supposed to be their political puppets. He broke ranks, and so they had something to say. So let's break it all down. I came to you guys from my computer so we could break down, so y'all can see what I saw. Right here, if you get right into it, right here, Cube was on the show, and he was asked about immigration, and listen to his answer, and listen to how hurt these liberals get of what he said.
It hurts because, it's all kind of different situations been going around, as far as immigration. But to see people like disrespected like that, and the federal government just being too heavy-handed and disrespectful, going to churches and weddings and grabbing people out of those schools, and it's like, come on, man, y'all just,
because there's a way to do it, right?
Overdoing it. And then the country flip-flops. First it's cool, then it's not, then it's cool, then it's not. It's like, how could somebody even keep up with what's going on? So it's sad, man. I can't wait till this period is over. It's like, I don't know how we're gonna get to the end, but this is just it's crazy to see people dragged out of the spots of refuge.
Look,
see right there, that's the comment that has everyone enraged. And it's a few sides. It's people I agree with, like who people are. It's people. I'm not about to attack the messengers that because everybody's entitled to their own opinion. So I'm not about to attack any messenger. Well, except for this white boy later on. But as far as the brothers go, I'm not going to attack anybody. You got the Roland Martin / D.L. Hughley style liberal Negroes who are mad. And they're going around, and like if you read the comment section here, it's like those types. Didn't Cube vote for Trump? Oh, Cube supported Trump. And there's a lot of misnomers out there about Cube supporting Trump. Cube never supported Trump. Cube met with Trump. The same way anybody in this country, if you're a citizen of the United States of America and you have political things you want done politically, You are to meet with whoever wants to meet with you. Republican, independent, liberal, Democrat, conservative, whatever. That's how politics works. But they keep these limited minded Negroes like D.L. Hughley and these Omega Sci Fi radio hosts in this box. And so a lot of the Omega Sci Fi guys went after Ice Cube. A lot of them. And I call them out because they deserve to be called out. A lot of your Omega Sci-Fi radio went after Cube for meeting with Trump, while not saying anything about the Democrats not meeting with him. And then you got the B1s, the Black First. They're mad at Ice Cube for even speaking up and saying anything in support of Mexicans. And the illegals, the B1s, the Black First folks, they're mad. It's like, why is he saying anything for them? Then you got people who are Black Republicans, like my man Tim Black, and I love Tim Black. I love his channel. I love everything about what he does. He going in on Ice Cube, saying you can't play both sides. And then you got the liberal whites going after Ice Cube because, goddamn it, you a Negro. How dare you have your own opinion? So the thing is, let's attack the first point that we've been getting from Black folks saying that, okay, why is Cube speaking up for Mexicans and illegals? I didn't take what he had to say as speaking up for anybody. Ice Cube never said we shouldn't have immigration enforcement. He never even said anything about them people not getting sent back to their home. He was raising concern over how it's being done. And people have their rights to feel how it's being done. A lot of people don't want to see it happen this way. Just because you don't want to see it happen this way don't mean you don't want to see it happen. And we look at somebody like an Ice Cube who has his own league. There's definitely politics at play. When people who are in that position, they're not going to say too much. But the reason why I'm calling out people who are mad at Ice Cube for saying that little shit that he said. Where were y'all when he presented his plan for Black America? When he had that major Mexican backlash, Ice Cube had a huge backlash from Latinos in 2020, asking why is it just for Black people? And Ice Cube said, well, Black people are the ones who've gotten stolen from. This ain't no disrespect to y'all, but right now it's time to pay attention to Black folks. Ask yourself, people, how much did Black America rally around Ice Cube when he said that? Or did we leave him to dry, to hang? If my memory serves me correctly, Ice Cube was low-key left to hang. I don't remember a groundswell of Black Americans standing up to protect him and speak up for him. Hell, niggas still didn't have the decency to find out the difference between Trump's platinum plan and Ice Cube's plan for Black America. Talk to 8 out of 10 Black people who knew about the plan. They conflated the two. Ice Cube's plan for Black America and Trump's platinum plan were nothing alike. They shared a few common interests, but they were nothing alike. Trump was talking about giving $500 million to Black businesses. Ice Cube was talking about Black businesses getting 13% of the federal contracts. They was talking two way different things. Ice Cube's plan for Black America was for companies and government to spend money with Black people at the percentage we represented. So if we 13% of the population, we should get 13% of the contracts. But you had D.L. Hughley, Minister of Misinformation, Roland Martin, Ministeress of Misinformation, attacking Ice Cube over that, saying, well, not now, not now. Yeah, Vivica Fox went off on him. Ice Cube was left out on his own. He wasn't on no Kanye shit calling out the small hats. He wasn't trying to do clickbait, having this woman come out naked. And he wasn't going with Aiden Ross and Ice Cube he went on. I remember he went on Jason Black's show. He went on Tucker Carlson. He went on Roland Martin. Cube was interviewing with all races about a plan for Black America. Fox Soul did him wrong. Cube really put his neck out there in 2020. And if y'all know me, I pay attention to the environment. Black folks are always talking about how they want somebody to lead us, but you niggas don't protect leaders. That's why I don't care about no goddamn leader. I don't want no leader. Why do I want to see somebody put their family at risk just for you niggas after they die to be like, well, he did cheat on his wife now. Like y'all do Dr. King. Ain't got no goddamn proof. Well, he did. And if he did, just say if Dr. King was getting head upside down by a midget every night, so the fuck what? If that's what he needed to get back out there and fight for us as a people, why don't you dumb, immature motherfuckers understand that? No, niggas gonna be like, well, nah, there was that one song he did, and I didn't like it because it was negative to the black community. You niggas don't even deserve a good leader like that. All you gonna do is clown them. The minute them motherfuckers show one long nose hair, oh, now, he ain't, I don't know about him, man, now. You see how long that nose hair was? How was his nose hair that long and he wasn't itching? He must be possessed by the devil, because he had a long nose hair and it was not itching. I don't know how. You imperfect motherfuckers looking for somebody perfect. I was about to say something else. Sit your imperfect ass down and wash your hands when you wipe your ass. How about that? How about you focus on brushing your teeth every morning? Matter of fact, nigga, you just pissed off your kids and your wife by doing exactly what they asked you not to do 10 times in a row. Your kids was like, please, daddy, stop coming home drunk. I don't like the way you are when you drunk, daddy. Your wife was like, I love you, man, but when you get drunk, you get crazy. And what did you do? You went out last night and drank. And then you want to come and you open up the paper, open up YouTube, and you see Ice Cube said, oh, man, just change the way they just don't beat them up. Like, whatever, just don't beat these motherfuckers up. Oh, nah, he can't be my leader. This nigga ain't perfect. I don't agree with that. No. He didn't listen. He didn't listen. Man, sit your ass down. Who the fuck are you? Nigga? Cube don't gotta be neutral. Cube get to be whoever the fuck he wanna be. That be the thing about it. The problem be most of the time the problem be the people. You don't gotta be neutral. He gets to have he's a human. Why can't he have political opinions? Just because a person is a famous rapper don't mean they shouldn't have opinions. Jesus. How about like when Cube said what he had to say about the Latino shit? I was like, if it was me, I wouldn't answer the question. I'd have been like, well, that shit crazy. Next question. That's what I would have done. I wouldn't have gone into detail the way Cube did. But he did. He didn't say nothing against us. He didn't hurt us in any kind of way, nor did he promote them. He just said, I don't like the way it was done. And I can understand why people wouldn't like the way it's being done. Especially Money, because Money likes to move in silence. Money don't like seeing shit get wild. What upset in the West? Like, that's what that, if you don't feel like it, people like, nah, man, throw the baby out with the bathwater. All right, nigga. You're gonna be the first one in 2 weeks gonna be like, man, we ain't got no leaders. Man, we probably had like 300 or 400 leaders since Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. And right when they stepped out to do something, yeah, they saw how you niggas acted and didn't do shit to defend King's death or X's death or Medgar Evers or go down the list. And they was like, you know what? Nah, these niggas ain't ready. Them niggas when they got the job, being vacuum salesmen, it was like, man, I ain't like fucking niggas. I'd rather get a regular ass job and open up a community center. Cause I ain't dealing with you never happy for shit ass niggas. Cube isn't a gangster. Okay, remember that. Mia Fantastic, remember that. Cube was never a gangster. The industry labeled what he did gangster rap. Cube has always played the both sides. If you listen to his music, he was message music. He was telling you why the gangster's a gangster, and he was telling you why the government's the government. And he was talking to you why the government acts to the gangster in the way it acts, and why the gangster reacts to the government because how the government acts. That's why if you listen to Cube's lyrics, he was always the observer, saying, oh, that's what the gangster's doing, that's what the government's doing. Pay attention to both sides. He's always done that. The industry came in and labeled him a gangster rapper. And he'll be the first to tell you he does message music. He's always been someone, and that's another thing about it is, are we even paying attention to who we even talking about? We're talking to somebody who's always had an opinion on what's going on. Go listen to Summer Vacation. He was never saying to go be a drug dealer. He was saying, I catch a fight to St. Louis. That's cool because nobody knew us. Stepped off the plane. 4 gangbangers, professional crack slingers, rented a motel. And he's talking about the life of LA gang members who in the late 80s were going to Seattle and different cities, Dallas, St. Louis. That was happening. Hell, my cousin Stanley was one of them that went from Compton to Seattle. So when Summer Vacation dropped, I'm like, oh, that nigga talk about my cousin Stanley. And then he talked about them setting up successful drug operations. And then by the end of the summer, the police and the FBI catching on to this new gangster that's in this new city and putting him in jail for the rest of his life, or he's going to end up dead. And Cube said that's going to ultimately be your summer vacation. You may leave the city and start a drug business and it run cool for now, but if you keep at it, you're going to end up dead or in jail, and the rest of your summer, your vacation is going to be spent in prison. That was message music. But MTV, CBS came out and said, these are gangster lyrics. And instead of you listening to the lyrics, you believe what CBS said about the lyrics. You dig? facing a double life plea bargain. That's what Cube was telling you. He's always been a messenger and someone who gives his opinions as to what's going on in America. That's how he got his name, through giving an opinion. So that's on one side. That's on one side. I'm with you, man. Fantastic. We with you. I'm rocking with you. I'm rocking with you. That's on one side of it. But Black, look, at the end of the day, everybody gets the right to have an opinion. I'm not talking about the people who just have an opinion on what Ice Cube is doing. I'm talking about the niggas that's trying to have a cancel campaign. Like D.L. Hewley sorry ass. I'm talking about them kind of niggas. Okay? More so than you just having an opinion. You can not like what Cube said. But still, because I didn't necessarily rock with what he said. I was like, well, that's his opinion. You know? Like, oh, okay. I personally don't give a fuck because we see what's going on right now with Trump in D.C. And he's talking about doing the same in L.A. and Chicago. Even though crime is down nationwide, Trump is coming for black people directly now, like we said he would. And no one's going to be there we're not going to get the kind of sympathy that these people are getting in ICE raids. Because when these people do come after our black kids are going to be, oh no, the whole Cincinnati situation. A white person can provoke an incident and the black people are the ones getting charged. You see what's going on in Cincinnati? Only the black ones got charged, even though the white folks provoked the situation. That's what we're in for right now. So I don't really have space to talk up for anybody else right now. I just don't. And that's no disrespect to nobody else either, but we've been over here, like I told before, black folks been over here stretching. Like, okay, we know they're coming our way. Let me stretch. Yep. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Somebody said Ice Cube turned his back on Minister Khalid Muhammad. So, what they got to do with you? Hopefully that didn't stop you from listening to the great Khalid Muhammad because he and Cube fell out. Farrakhan also fell out with Khalid Muhammad. People fall out. Did Ice Cube ever speak out against Khalid Muhammad? Did Ice Cube ever speak out against Farrakhan? Did he ever go on a public campaign to disrespect our leaders the way Roland Martin has? The way D.L. Hewley has? Has he done that? If he ain't did that, okay, he fell out with Khalid Muhammad. We're all on YouTube. We saw that video 15 years ago. Ice Cube is gone cold. We saw that. We all saw the video in 2009, 8 when it was put up on YouTube. Okay? So, all right. People follow all the time. Grow up. Get over it. My thing is, okay, just don't fall out. Don't do what Michael Eric Dyson did to Cornel West. Don't fall out and then write some big ass public opinion over why you're not cool with Cornel West anymore. And you can say what you want about their politics, but I thought that was shady when Michael Eric Dyson and Cornel West fell out. And Eric Dyson went on a whole year-long campaign. The motherfucker went on Bill Maher's show talking about it. Whoever would listen, Michael Eric Dyson would talk about why he fell out with Cornel West. Something like that. That's corny. If you fall off somebody, you fall off somebody. You go your way, they go their way. As long as somebody go their own way and they ain't out publicly dissing them, so what? Yeah, Dyson did that for real, 2012, 13. He fell out with Cornel West and wrote a whole article. I think the article was in The Atlantic. It was in one of those major websites, Why I'm No Longer Friends with Dr. Cornel West. And he went on Bill Maher talking about it. That shit was weird. But the main reason why I'm having this particular show is this white boy right here. So on the
Kushner,
Young Turk, this dude goes around talking about Trump. He never promoted Ice Cube's plan for Black America, and he's highlighting Ice Cube going on Chris Wallace's show. He's hiding Ice Cube meeting with Roland Martin and all these different MSNBC going on. Roland, and they focus in on him talking with Trump, and he got.
What do you see in the platinum plan they released that mentions that mirrors anything that's in yours?
You got, if I'm looking at it, agreeing to direct VC money to Black investment companies up to $40 billion.
See, a lot of people have been talking about this $500 billion. That's not going to Black people. In fact, that's just actually the infrastructure funding program. That's not actually $500 billion going to Black people.
Politico even wrote,
that was when they tried to conflate Ice Cube's plan for Black America with Trump's platinum plan. Earlier in the same interview, Ice Cube made it very clear that Trump's platinum plan and Ice Cube's plan for Black America are two different things. But people like Roland Martin tried to conflate the two. And you saw Ice Cube, they're trying to write these articles about him joining forces with Donald Trump, and he never did. All he did was meet with Jared Kushner. He met with Steve Bannon. So this white boy has an issue with that. So what I want to do, I want to play what he has to say. I want to play what he has to say about this. And then we're going to break down why this is an issue.
a good person, I know it. So I end with this. Speaking out is good. Everyone should be speaking out. It's just that there is going to be, like the headline is Ice Cube, right? And then there is rightfully so bullet points of people checking you saying like, hey man, you kind of gave them a lot of leverage and power by using your voice and the power that you have to say that you rocked with him over the years. And he'll never come out and fully say
that's a lie. He's going to him saying that, okay, now that you're saying something out about that, it ain't cool, but you're using, y'all know with these white people, we're always these ultra powerful beings when we say something that they don't agree with. Black people have this overwhelming influence and power anytime we're not in lockstep with what they believe. And they'll just come out and lie. Tell a lie, keep telling a lie loud enough, long enough, it becomes the truth. This is what I want black folks to see. I want black folks to see what these people are. These are our so-called liberal friends. Why is the Young Turks sports even talking about Ice Cube? This is a political thing. It's not sports. He's not talking about the big three. He's talking politics. So why is sports even covering it? Y'all ever even notice this shit when it comes to black people and white-owned media? White-owned media, when they fund anything when it comes to black people having opinions, when they fund anything that's going to be talking about black people, it's always either under the banner of hip-hop or sports. Anytime they talk about us, it's under the banner of hip-hop and sports. Vlad TV, Adam 22, they talk very little hip-hop, but they're hip-hop stations. Notice that. That's racist in itself. Black people can only be addressed through the means of hip-hop and sports. They don't even address us through jazz. So first off, he's doing that. Now he's trying to say because this is how butthurt these guys get. He's not talking about the Democrats never meeting with Ice Cube. He never talked about the merits of Ice Cube's plan for Black America. Never talked about the racial wealth gap and what was in that plan to help close it by getting federal and local funds and having local municipal funds reflect the demographic of Black people in that municipality. Never talked about none of this shit. Now he's talking about he's gonna check Ice Cube. Who the fuck are you to check Ice Cube? Look, if Ice Cube came out and said, I'm a MAGA Republican and I'm voting Trump and I want America first, you still don't have the right to check Cube. Homeboy, who the fuck are you? See, look at the background here. He got Mos Def. That's the Mos Def. That's a Tribe Called Quest album. Is that De La Soul? See, that's what happens. These cats grow up listening to De La Soul and Tribe Called Quest. This is why I talk about protecting the culture. They think somehow they're part of the culture because they like Mos Def. He's singing, since I like Mos Def, I like Tribe Called Quest, I liked a few Ice Cube songs back in the day, I have the right to check Ice Cube. No, you don't. Let's keep going with this jerk off had to say.
Say this because it would hurt his standing, but it just baffles me, man. Like, you are the same dude that like gave interview after interview after interview, and you allowed yourself to be played, man. You allowed yourself to
be played. So the Democrats saying, let's meet with Ice Cube after the election, and they never met with him. That's not playing Ice Cube. He met on the same way he went on Fox News. He went on NBC too. He asked for a meeting with Joe Biden's people. He went on CNN. CNN is on your side, pink shirt. And they didn't talk to him at all. So who the fuck are you to say who got played? This motherfucker, wherever culture he comes from, they got their own music. They got their own sets of traditions. And instead of this dude commenting on his culture, the sports that his culture plays, the music his culture listens to, because he likes our music, he feels he can say, because he's a liberal and a lot of black people are politically to the left, Cube also said was critical of people at NWA because they let a Jew break up his crew. Why didn't that goddamn term or statement offend you and you leave the culture, sir? That should have offended you. You should have left. Bring that part up. Bring up songs like Cave Bitch. He was talking about your mama. Love Wisdom says Malcolm was right about the media. It can make people love or hate you. Celebrities are not politicians or leaders. Cube don't have to do nothing but stay black and die. What's the community doing? Right, Love Wisdom. Because all Ice Cube did was what Dr. Claude Anderson say, if we're going to have a celebrity in politics, that's what we should do. We should endorse something. He had economists put together a plan for black people that could be passed around and used locally and locally and federally. Because that's how you play politics. You give the politicians an agenda. That's how you're proactive politically. And that's why everybody came against him so hard. because he played it the way you're supposed to play it. I don't care what race you are. That's how politics are played. You present an agenda to politicians. This is what my section wants. This is what the immigrants want. This is what the Italians want. This is what the midgets want. This is what the handicapped want. You give them an agenda, and then you back it by money and votes. That's how politics are played, period. You go to either side. You don't care which side wins. You present the agenda to both sides, and you put money up on both sides. That's how politics is done. You give both sides your plan, and you put money in both of them pocket. You might put a little bit more in one than the other, but you still cover your bet and put money in the other. Because just in case he wins, I still want this agenda to go through. And Cube ain't no leader. We shouldn't be looking at him as a leader. But he did do what anyone who studied political science understands needs to be done if you want something to happen in your favor. You can't just wait for them to say, hey, I got a plan for you. You have to give them a plan. You go back to Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Medgar Evers, A. Philip Randolph. You go back to any of our great, Frederick Douglass, Ida B. Wells, Fannie Lou Hamer. They didn't attack the Democrat Party. They didn't attack the Republicans. They didn't align with the Republicans. They didn't align with the Democrats. Although we voted more Republican than Democrat back then, when we were marching for our rights and when we were making demands on the government, we made demands on the government, not a party. King never went to the Democrats and said, you owe us. He never went to the Republicans and said, you owe us. King didn't say, hey, black people been voting Republican in 1955. By 1955, black folks have been voting Republican. Matter of fact, Republican was created as the party to end slavery. We've been voting for the Republican Party since there's been a Republican Party. And yes, black people did vote in the 1850s. Yes, we still voted back then too, the free ones. That happened. That's an historical fact. But when the Civil War ended and we started getting voting en masse, Dr. King could have easily said, we've given the Republicans 90 years, you owe us. That's not what he said. He went to the Republicans and the Democrats. Niggas don't even understand the Democrats was the other party. They were the other party at that time. So speaking to a Democrat in the 1950s will be the same to speaking to a Republican in the Trump administration. Same shit. But they were smart enough not to speak to either party. We're speaking to the government. All Cube is doing is, I'm the kind of person, I don't follow people. I look at structure and patterns and how things work. I look at how things function and work. And politics functions and works on you creating your own agenda and following through with it. And that's pissing this dude off. Let's keep going.
Be used. It is right to question like where you're coming from on a lot of this. Because like I don't even know if this is like truly heartfelt. It feels like it is, but when you uplift someone like this and their administration and the people that they employ, especially when you have a direct connection to one of the worst humans that was in the first Trump admin and is practically running part of the playbook for the second, if not bringing about more insurrectionists into the fold, like, dude, I'm gonna question you. I'm gonna
fuck your questions and fuck you too. I hate when these liberals act as if they're not racist. As if Biden isn't a racist. As if Kamala Harris isn't a racist. I'm not going to do anything for black people. No. So standing up for that would have made you happy? Mrs. I'm not going to do anything for black people. No. Mrs. I washed my collard greens in a bathtub. Miss, I listened to Tupac in 1986. The nerve of these dickheads. You V-shaped head motherfucker. Head look like a yield sign. Don't stop. Don't go. Yield.
To check you. And considering what we know, everyone should. Hey, I appreciate you watching.
What gives these people the nerve to be in our political business? What the fuck, people? We don't give a shit about either side, Democrat nor Republican. Our job is to get what we can get from the government we've been paying taxes to ever since there was a government to pay taxes to. And that transitions us to Donald Trump and what the Trump administration is doing now. Trump is deploying the National Guard to D.C. and they're already starting to rough people up. West Virginia, same. And Trump is talking about doing the same to LA, Chicago, and basically cities that black people are in. Let me tell y'all what this is. The Trumpers are not letting Epstein go. The Trumpers are not letting this war situation go. And the Trumpers are not cool with Donald Trump backing Israel the way he is. So what does that mean? That means it's time to pull out the big guns. That means it's time to indirectly and directly target black people. The one thing that gets white America off of its square when it comes to its issues with the government is when black Americans are the focus. So now it looks like it's our turn. Not that it's never not our turn. They're always targeting us. We've never, you can't point to one day, 1 hour, 1 minute that black people have gotten peace in America. If you can, inbox me or hit me, email, call in, let me know. If black people have ever had a moment of peace in America, please call in and let me know when the fuck that was. Please. Because I ain't seen it. But now he's giving greater attention, we should say, to black Americans. And that's the rallying cry to America. And then what's going to happen is people are going to come in here and be like, well, you guys voted for Trump, didn't ya? No, we didn't vote for Trump. But at the same time, we also knew if Trump got in office, this was coming to black people. We understood that. But the thing you dumbasses don't understand who think that way is, this was coming to us if Kamala Harris got in office. Because Kamala Harris would have just turn around and open up the floodgates to really take us out, wipe us out economically, and bring these people over here to completely obliterate us economically. It would have been far more sinister through the Democrat way than it is the Republican way. Black people that have been here, that know who we are, we kind of like our enemies in the open. We like when they come out and show who they are. Because when the enemies come out and show who they are, when they are foolish enough to do things directly to us, we tend to respond in a way that's constructive for us as a group. When you study our history, when we have a clear enemy, we tend to come together and do things far more constructively than when we don't. Yeah, NBA Strong said, we voted for deportation and for others to catch hell. Yeah, exactly what we do. We voted for equal hell. That's what we voted for. We voted for, okay, we know y'all coming our way, whatever. But crack that nigga upside the head too. That's what we said. And it may sound petty. So the fuck what? I don't apologize. I don't apologize. But I read to y'all in my cars this last month when I read my readings, when I did my readings for the United States and where we're going. I said as we get in to this year, into the late fall, into the late summer, into the fall, it's about to get cracking. It's about to get cracking, and the cracking has commenced. The cracking has commenced. So what we need to do is make sure that we're on alert, stand up for one another, see what it is, but don't allow them to get our emotions reacting. The big thing I want to say is you cannot allow your emotions to get caught up. Because when you get hell of emotional and the emotions run to the front and you act off emotion, then they're going to have reason to go even further and do more. And it's only going to hurt you. This is the time that we step back and be quiet and really, when I say be quiet, not talk about it. I ain't saying that either. But when we talk about it from an intellectual point of view, a research point of view, a non-emotional point of view. This past, earlier this week, I was in one of my corporate trainings. And right now, I'm doing a training right now on part of my anti-black racism training is training the black employees on how to be strategic in response to racist microaggressions. And I told them if a white person says something to you crazy, oftentimes, or non-black, because it's not just white folks these days, usually, especially in LA, usually it's a Latino. Way more. It's probably going to be a Latino or an Asian before it's a white person in today's Los Angeles and other cities around. But we're really doing some role play over responding, over taking a step back. When they have a racist microaggressions or when they do something racist, you don't just come out the bag at them because the system is set up to persecute your reaction, not their action. We see that going on right now in Cincinnati. America is set up to persecute black people's reaction to violence and trauma and racism. So what you do is, if you're feeling mad, angry in any kind of way, that's when you shut up. You shut up when you're feeling emotionally enraged. Being emotionally enraged is not the time to talk. You pull back and you gather your thoughts. You write your thoughts down. You write down how you feel. and you don't express those thoughts and feelings until your emotions have subsided to where you can think clearly. Now it's time to express. Now, after you express, what are you going to do? You going to be like, I got it out. No. After you express, you plan. You be strategic. You be smart. That's how you deal with this. You don't just come out the bag looking like Animal from the Muppet Babies. You don't do that. Go bye-bye. Yeah. Don't do that. Don't be no goddamn Tasmanian devil. You be like Bugs Bunny. I want that silly rabbit. Bugs Bunny didn't just go, oh, he wants to get me. Let me get a carrot and stick it up his ass. Bugs didn't do that. Bugs waited for Elmer Fudd. All right, you want me to rabbit? All right, cool. All right, stick your gun down this hole. Put that motherfucker in a bow tie. Boosh! Now your head blown off because you was fucking with the wrong one. You end up shooting yourself. Be like Bugs Bunny, man. You don't just You sit back in the pocket and you plan and you execute. Stop reacting out of emotions all the goddamn time, black people. Somebody said, why is MAGA funny, FBA? Hey, call in GoFies. MAGA's funny, FBA? Let me know. Who? GoFi says, why is MAGA funny, FBA? I didn't know that they're funny. Who are they funding? And like, you can't just say they're funny, FBA, like what organization? Or who, like person. And then if you know MAGA's funny, if they're funding that person or organization, just show proof. If you can show proof that they're funding, you can call in and talk about it. If MAGA's funny, if you're saying that, you should be able to. Do you have like a link you can send us? Let us know. Courtney G asked a pertinent question. How do you fund a lineage? Hey, I'm trying to figure out if you got something there, brother. Yeah, I ain't got my funding yet. Shit, that was some MAGA fund the FBA shit. Where my money at? Where my money at? So yeah, we can't allow them to define the story and define the narrative. Anyway, my phone line's open 323-388-3315. I'll take a couple calls, not too many, because I don't want to be here all day. I got shit to do. Yeah, I asked that person to call in. I mean, to at least let us know if he knows. And he ain't said nothing. What's up, Rocky? You wanna go kick it, Rocky boy? Rocky came to kick it. Rocky just came in. Rocky came to knock on the door, and he's knocked on the door to kick it. What's up, Rocky? Tell the people what's up. You see the people? Tell them what's up, Rocky. You not gonna say nothing to him? You know, now Rocky want to play, so I ain't about to be here long. Rocky want to play. Rocky played for like 3 minutes, and and then once he done playing, that nigga goes to sleep. Oh, I just missed a call. Call back. Whoever that was, call back. Whatever that was, call back. Yeah. Yeah, in D.C. right now, he's picking up the homeless folks. They're coming for us. Like they're gonna, but this is gonna cause a reaction. This is gonna cause a reaction. And shit's about to be popping in this country in the next couple weeks. We right here at a tipping point, y'all. As we get into mid-September, we are at a tipping point. Oh shit, appreciate the super chat. Tell it like it is. Much appreciation on the super chat. Oh, James, I appreciate the cash app. $9.99 is wild today. Appreciate the cash app. Williams, I appreciate the cash app. Dana, I appreciate the cash app. $19.99. I appreciate that. But y'all see what it is. I see that person didn't want to call in. That was running their mouth in the chat. They didn't want to call in to say anything. What's up, Kev, in the chat? All right, since you don't want to call in to voice your displeasure with what I said, I'm about to be out. I got some other shit to do. Thank y'all for listening. Remember, go to DeWanB.com. Get your shit at DeWanB.com. Get your book, your reading, get your report. And also, I'll probably be back on tonight. All right? Yeah, that person didn't want to call in. They don't want to call in. When they got negative things to say in the chat, they never want to call in. The guy's name is Wellington. You can't expect anybody named Wellington to be 100. Wellington sound like a black kid that was raised in an all-white neighborhood that don't like being black. That's why a nigga name is Wellington. But anyway, I digress. I'll holler at y'all. Y'all have a good one.